Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and you're very welcome to the channel. This is a lovely little video to do on a Sunday morning. This is an open tag from Rasputin's Castle, one of my favourite channels, an amazing collection of knives. He has a lovely way of telling the story about the knives. I just enjoy everything about his channel. So I highly recommend you go and check that out, first of all. The second thing is that the open tag is called Stag Sunday, which is very appropriate. I like that. And it's something, I don't know how long he's going to run for, but he wants everybody to join in. Just show a stag knife, and he doesn't mind whether it's real stag, bone stag. Just show it. It's just a way of showing our knives, like all open tags are. I've gone for the real stag, and this is really fortunate for me. This is one of my favourite knives in my collection. Now, I know there's a lot, but this, as far as fit and finish and just attention to detail, one man made this knife. One man made it from start to finish. So that to me is just an amazing fact. But how well it's made, I can't explain to you. I have to show it to you. You could say as much as you like, but it's all in show. Let's just start with this. This is a little piece of wood I found on a beach. I don't know how many years ago. Me and the wife were walking on a beach down the peninsula here, the Ards Peninsula, and I just found this piece of wood. And you know when you see something in a piece of wood and then you can't get it out of your mind? This has never changed. When I seen this lying on the beach, it reminded me of the Loch Ness Monster. You know that old picture you see of the Loch Ness Monster with its back coming out of the water and the sort of head shape? And I called it Nessie. So this has been with me, and you've seen it on my videos because I prop knives up on it sometimes. But this is natural beauty. This is as God created it. It's just a little bit of wood. Naturally, it's been tumbled in a sea. It has been broken off a branch somewhere. But look at the detail. This is what, when you see the detail of this little piece of wood, I just think it's amazing. Let's just take here, right? Look at that. Look at these lovely little rings, or look at that. Isn't that? It's like a smalted beach or something. It's just beautiful. I've never done anything to it. I've just let it dry out naturally. But I love the detail, the little bits where it's carved out. Maybe the starting's a crack and where it breaks off. Everything about this little thing I love. You can actually see through that nearly now to the other side there. But I just love that. That's natural beauty. The beauty of the knife maker is that he takes natural materials, some man-made materials, and then he blends the two of them together to come up with something that really meets his eye. And I know this is getting a bit romantic, but it's to be a knife maker, you're an artist. You're taking something and then you make it beautiful. And that's what this knife is to me. This is Stag, and it is some of the nicest Stag. And I'll have to say, Ashley Harrison, who made this knife, they managed to find some of the most beautiful Stag that I am seeing in modern day knives. It is just stunning. I brought this up to a close-up. Look, you can see the ridge in it and where it's burnt. It is just stunning. It really is. And when you turn over the other side, this is not a one-sided knife. Look at this other side. Look at this, lovely. And this is the bark side, and you've got your knobbly bits, and then a piece where it has split, obviously on the deer itself or whatever, and it's just been burnt and it fits in. Look the geometry. Look at that knife. Look how even that has been done. It is beautifully. You can't feel anything going up into these bolsters at all. Nothing. You've got knobbly bits this side. You've got this attractive ridge down the side. This would, no matter what way you hold this knife, it is a stunner. In my eyes, some people mightn't like this. I adore it because it's imperfection. This here is full of imperfections. It's just a bit of wood that's broke off a tree and it's been rolled in the sea and it's just been left to dry. Just natural beauty. That's what this is. It's not pretending that this wasn't there. It's not finding a bit of stag that sort of meets it exactly. This is just stunning. But as we're going around it, I want you to check the fit and finish out on this knife. It is phenomenal. Again, all handmade. This is fitted in here by hand. You know, look how well that has been fitted in. This has been even bent down a wee bit so that it fits here, and you can barely feel it. honestly, you can barely feel it. It's been rolled over so that it sits in nicely. Amazing workmanship. And I hope you agree with that. It's just amazing. Is this a safe queen? Well, do you know, it could very well be a safe queen, but no, I use this knife. The only thing I haven't used this knife on is fruit or meat because I don't want a patina on this one. A lot of my knives want patina. This is a knife to take in a beautiful slip if you're going out somewhere really, really nice and you just want to have something pretty on you. So let's start at the handle. This is a bit of stag. They don't come matched like this. You have to get a piece of stag and either split it or you've got a couple of pieces and you match them up. This is done by the maker. It's made by him. It's made to fit in this little slot from a horn, an antler. And to me, that is just a skill in itself. I mean, how good. Just this looks so good to this one. It just, like I say, there's not a good side or a bad side. There's the one you like more and sort of one you really do love for its authenticity as a piece of stag. I just absolutely, I admire the workmanship, full stop. And I know I'm a bit of an Ashley Harrison fanboy. I am, and there's no doubt about it. But the fact that one person can do this and then charge him at the prices he does, it's no wonder his books are never open. And they haven't been open for so long now. He is just one of the most fair priced knife makers that I know, and I hold my hat up to him. I mean, it really is just stunning. And let's go on to the metalwork, if you like. Look at that stamp. How fresh, clear is that? You've got the A and S with the big W, Arthur Wright and Son. But it's actually, do you know what I mean? It's actually made this one. That's just his stamp. The Arthur Wright and Son have their own stamp. And again, now that the father and son have taken over this business, they are making the improvements that it wanted for years. And I just think that simple thing there just makes the knife stand out. Because you'll see so many that are nowhere near as nice as this. Nowhere near. To me, it looks like a candelabra to me. When I look at that, and it just enhances what's behind it here. It just makes this look so much better. Do you know what I mean? Look, there's the blank side. It looks really nice, doesn't it? But then it's quite bare. There's nothing there. But when you turn it over and you see the maker's mark, how proud must you be? And that just makes me, it makes me so happy. I know that's, look at this, a little lamb's foot with a beautiful, clear and deep nail nick on this side. A beautiful, really gorgeous little sweds that Ashley puts on top. And he does them immaculately. And look how much that adds to that little sheep's foot, or lamb's foot, I should say. It's a bit thicker here than it is here. But oh my goodness, how gorgeous is that? And he carries that little swedge over, and you can see it is identical. Where it starts and where it finishes, where it thickens, where it goes down. It is just stunning. I love it. Beautifully grinded blade, slight hollow grind in it. Comes really quite sharp from Ashley. I mean, I always strop it anyway, but it is just a gorgeous knife to use. And I genuinely have used this knife, but not for anything, again, where I'm going to get acid on it or anything. And I haven't even had to this is an 01 tool steel, sorry. All Ashley's knives are, well, most of his knives are 01 tool steel. I just polish it and that's it. It's just a little stunner, nice and thin behind the edge, or it's thin here, and then you got a lovely thin grind, which is just a perfect little work knife, a detailed knife, just a pocket knife you're proud to carry and bring out to people. So I know that, again, I'm a bit romantic about it, but I'm more romantic. It's not so much that it's Ashley, it's the fact that one man can do this sort of work. And, if you want a reason why I'm in knife collecting, or I'm a knife hobbyist, whatever you want to call me, this is why. When you get something like this in hand and you realise that one man has done it, and you feel kind of inadequate because I do. I could never come up with something like that. And I'm happy saying that I'll never be able to come up with something like that. And I just appreciate the workmanship. There's no half stop in this, but look at that. It's lovely. It's about a 7 pull. Look how centered that is. Again, one man. And to make a slip joint is not easy for anybody to do. It is a hard thing to do, is to make a slip joint where you've got the blade centered, you've got the nice free movement. So even if you don't appreciate slip joints, the workmanship that goes into these is outstanding. Outstanding. Just that's it, full stop. I don't care. I don't believe there's anything you could fault in that knife if you were looking to. And that's right up to today's date. Well, it was 2022. I might have got that, the end of 2022. It's perfect. Now, what Rasputin did, he brought another little knife out that he had that he wanted to show us. And I'm going to do the same, but I'm actually going to keep mine. I'm not sure whether this was bone or stag when it originated. Still not sure. And I don't care. Because this is one that, if you've been around my channel, you'll have seen it before. Look at this little beauty. Look at that little beauty. I'm not sure that this is completely smooth, like glass smooth. You'd swear somebody had put some sort of acrylic over it to make it that shiny, but it's not. It's just natural. The fingers have rubbed this knife. I think this is from the 18th century somewhere. It has been looked after. And when I got it, I just couldn't believe what I had got when I got it. And I paid not very much money for it. This is a quill knife. And again, the workmanship, you've one little pin there, a back spring on there, and look at the pins. That's where you can tell the age of it. They're not spun or they're not done. That is somebody with patience has tapped them in and made the best he could possibly do. And even the hands, like if you see where this one is, it's been put into nearly a hole, and it's still been done. They're cruder than what the modern day. Look at that in the middle of a crack there. It's just not a crack, but you know what I mean, in the figuration. This must have been an absolute joy when it was first made, but I think aging has definitely done it no bad thing. It is beautiful. I think it might have been stag. I genuinely think it might have been, stag, and it has been done for the knife. And look at that little blade. Look at the detail. It's like a little long pull. It's a bit off center, but when you think back then what they were using to make these knives was primitive compared to what you have now in a modern factory. Look at the way the pin goes through there. It is gorgeous. It's even aligned, it's like a lined bolster nearly. But beautifully crafted, this tiny wee knife that wouldn't have been any bigger than what it is, not much anyway. There's a couple of wee chips there. I haven't bothered clearing them out. I've no need to. I just like the knife the way it is. But, for a knife, there's a half stop. And look at that. Beautifully centered after all these years. And the way they brought this, the back spring right round the front here so that it doesn't look odd. Gorgeous. And that's from a craftsman from, well over 100 years ago. Maybe even a bit longer. I just wouldn't be too sure. I just think it is fantastic. But there you are. Put them two together. The old and the new craftsman. Both equally as beautiful. Both equally as beautiful. And two pieces that will never go anywhere. So don't ask. They're not going anywhere. These two are my example of old craftsmanship, new craftsmanship. To do that with the tools that he would have had then compared to Ashley, fantastic. Out of this world. Equally of high quality. But they're in my collection. I love them. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I've really enjoyed getting these knives out and having a wee look at them right up close and personal. Beautiful. This is what knife collecting is about right here for me. Take care. Bye-bye now.